The second consequences, we have discipline. Hinsliff explained the phenomena. He argued that the teachers do not always challenge the disruptive behavior. Teacher do not challenge disruptive behavior. Okay, that means that teachers can negotiate with the student as well. Okay, they try to convince them that that particular situation is not, for example, will not be in your favor, so you should change the mind, or all the stuff, whatever the things, they can at least convince the student, but they do not challenge this. Like the behavior you can see from the black Caribbean boys, they do not challenge. So what ultimately will happen, it will lead to a serious situations. Okay, the situation that we discussed in the above heading, in the masculinity, in the rebellion, situation will lead towards serious situation. One situation will be serious enough, what ultimately will happen, the black boys or a black student more frequently excluded than other any ethnic group from the school. So what ultimately will happen, they will be excluded. They will be excluded from school. And we have a lot of ratio of the black boys who have been excluded from the school as compared to any other ethnic minorities. The third one we have is the family structure. Family structure. So the children from single parents family generally have the worst educational experience across all ethnic groups. And according to the study, the topic what we the book we are follow, according to that book, black Caribbean families have the highest rate of single parenthood. Single parent families. Single parent families, and lowest rate of education achievement. Like the students who came from such sort of the families have lower education achievement. Boys are from the working class, so they have a lot of responsibilities on their shoulders. So that is another reason that because of their family structure, okay, because of their family background, they are not performing well in the education system, as we discussed earlier in the above heading, because they excluded from the school. So ultimately they will be a less achievers in the education attainment. Is Figura. Figura 1991. They will talk about from two perspectives. First, this man suggested that the teachers frequently limit the ethnic minorities' opportunities through the use of cultural biased form of assessment. How teacher will racist the student? Number one, on the basis of cultural biasness. Cultural biasness assessment. Okay, cultural biasness assessment, we already discussed the language. Okay, for example, you are not using elaborated speech code, so on that basis particularly. The next, teacher also have a lower opinion about the ability of the ethnic minorities group. Lower expectation about minority ethnic group. As we know that minorities are belongs to, we are talking about the majorities, okay, minorities are belongs to working class families. We already have a discussion on it, that how they are from working class families. So they are from working class families, and we already have a discussion that normally teachers do not perceive, or you can say do not have a very positive image of the working class students and about their future or about their academic abilities. So again, this idea is identified by the Figura, that first the cultural biasness assessment, okay, they observe the student, they stereotype the student, you can say, and other one, they have a lower expectation about the student. Once you are not giving so much attentions to your student, what ultimately happened, as we discussed in the previous lectures, the student will perform, or this particular expectation will transmit into the students, and they will perform according to your expectation. And that's why we said fulfilling of uh, self-fulfilling prophecies, or vicious, or the circle of underachievement, whatever the things you can say, that's become, or all these things become a realistic one. The next sociologist we have is the Gilborn. Gilborn, overall the idea, if you see, they have the same content or they have the same concept, but few of them have their own wording to explain the phenomena. Now let's talk about the Gilborn. Gilborn said schools are institutionally racist. Schools are institutionally racist, especially the term of curriculum development. In terms of curriculum development, now how they will develop the curriculum development, doesn't matter what kind of curriculum they are developing, ultimately that curriculum will be the reason of disadvantage of the black students. Disadvantage of black students. How? Number one, selection by setting. Selection by setting. Black students are routinely assigned to the lower sets. Black student assigned to lower sets. Number one, selection by setting. Number second, scheme for the gifted and talented. Gift and talented scheme, let's say. Gift mean they are just talking about the scholarship, let's say. So more of the opportunities, you can say, they will give to the white student, or you can say white student have over representation here. Over representation of white student. And other one is the vocational scheme. vocational scheme, and you will see over representation of black student, over representation of black students.